going to tell you a story. I was online and somebody had asked for some sort of representation of what character introduction should really look like, and I posted one. And a Facebook producer, uh, I use that term slightly snidely. A Facebook producer showed up and said, "No, that's not working. That's too long. That's no good." And I said, "Well, I think it is good. I think it's Frank Darabont writing an introduction for a character in The Shawshank Redemption, and if he's not good, I don't know who is." And this went over the guy's head. The guy, I guess, didn't recognize Darabont's name and didn't recognize The Shawshank Redemption, and continued to tell me I was wrong. Now, this is coming from a guy who's never produced anything, and I've won some awards, and I'm a screenwriter, I do this professionally. So not only was he telling me that Frank Darabont's writing just didn't cut it, but he was trying to talk down to somebody who had already been there and done that. And he probably also wouldn't like Juno's introduction in Juno by Diablo Cody, or Ned Stark's introduction in the Game of Thrones pilot series, because those are long too, by his standards. The problem with information out there is that a great deal of it is wrong. There are a lot of people walking around, they're either spouting and parroting information which they've heard which was wrong, or they simply don't know what they're talking about. This guy telling me that Darabont's writing wouldn't work was clearly wrong, clearly didn't read a lot of professional scripts that sold, clearly didn't read any of the prize-winning scripts which are out there winning competitions. And people were going to listen to him because he was wearing that tag, producer. Whether or not he had produced anything, he would look to a lot of writers like, the Golden Ring, The Way In, someone who might get behind their material and see it get made. This is a problem. This is a problem all over out there. And so I'm working on these classes to, one, show you what the greats do. The people who are really great, the people who are really good, the people who are out there who are selling again and again, because their writing is fabulous and wonderful and has verve and flair. And another thing that people are going to tell you sometimes when you say, well, Frank Darabont did this, they're going to say, well, he can do that because he's a pro. The implication there is that you're somehow supposed to write like you're not a pro and write less than well and less than great until you suddenly become a pro and you are given permission by the powers that be to start writing like a pro. That's completely ass backwards. I'm sorry. Because see, the reason the pros are pros is because they did that going in, and that's what got them noticed. They didn't get permission to start writing great writing after they were discovered. They got discovered because they were writing really well and really great stuff. And it stood out and it was wonderful. And that's what you want to be doing. You don't want to blend in. Blending in just means nobody's ever going to notice you and you're never going to sell and nothing's going to happen with your career because you're trying to blend in and you're listening to the parrot saying, well, only the pros can do that. That's not true. If you want to be a pro, start writing like a pro. Write like a pro now. Write with a verb and write with flair. Write with voice. Write with courage. Write what you want to see. And that's what's going to get you noticed, and that's what's going to make the jump from just being, in the trenches with everybody else blending in or standing out and becoming a pro. That's something that not enough people are out there talking about, and I talk about it. I hope you'll join me in my classes. I'm Max Adams, and these are my master classes.